Back here on that Super Bowl 56 Radio Row, we are just making the rounds. We are meeting all the greats. We are having fun. Our good friend Marc Ettrick is joining us right now. In fact, he's friends with Mike Dempsey, who you just heard from. Marc, apparently you've known Mike for quite a while. How are you still friends? How is someone not, I can't imagine like what a weekend would be like with Mike. We're learning right now, but how's the friendship sustained all this time?
It's been about 30 years. Basically, I'm the Robin to his Batman, man. When I'm around him, I just sit back, watch the action. I chime in every now and then, but hey, he's the Batman. I'm the Robin. I'm okay with that.
And a former KU football player.
Yes.
He went on to Kansas Law. And he talk about just kind of playing for Kansas, going there, making the football team, playing with guys like Gilbert Brown.
Incredible experience. I mean, I've practiced law 20-something years, but nothing compares to being a D1 athlete, playing on that high stage with guys who went on to play big-time NFL football like Gilbert Brown, and other greats. Glenn Mason was a great coach. Gave me an outstanding opportunity to get a free education, to play ball at that high level. Got some little highlights, but nothing compares to big boys like Gilbert Brown. But,
picking off Browning Nagel.
Yeah, you know what? That's a little claim to fame. Browning Nagel was drafted by the Jets in the second round.
Yep.
So I use that as a little bragging.
As you should.
Point. So reception in the fourth quarter, we couldn't capitalize, but it was a big play at the time.
You did your job.
Did my job, and played with some good players. Had some good highlights. D1 ball, Glenn Mason, KU football, being in the Midwest. Love Lawrence, Kansas. Go back every time I can. And best experience of my life.
You're on a podcast with a big Missouri fan over here in Clint, so this is a little oil and water.
I was going to bring that up. This is
forgive
proof that maybe it's just 10 years of being in separate conferences. The rivalry is Missouri and Kansas played in basketball this year. They're going to start playing again, I think, in 2026 or around then in football. But that rivalry was absolutely paramount in the early 90s, when you're there and things like that. What was those games like against Missouri? Because this is a time when Missouri was not very good at all. Not a lot of, winning seasons or bowl games. But what was those games like with Missouri? The rivalry's there. It's a big deal, especially back then.
Absolutely big deal. You circle that game on your calendar. Of course, you can never let you forget that Tony Sands ran for 396 yards against Missouri, NCAA record at the time, NCAA record at the time. So, that was a big game every year. And I think Jeff Long, before he left KU, tried to reinvigorate that rivalry. So I think we're going to play Missouri soon.
Yep.
In the next few years.
Yeah.
So that's big for the area. The games in Missouri probably draw 60,000 plus fans, and we need to draw 50,000 plus fans a month. So bringing that rivalry back is absolutely crucial for the Lawrence area.
I agree. I to me, all the conference realignment, all these teams moving around, it's become such a big business. Now you got NIL and all these the business aspect, and you've kind of been on that side. You've been a sports agent. You're a lawyer now in New York. When you look at the business aspect of college sports, is this sustainable when you think about the Wild West that college athletics is now going to become with these NIL deals? And how does the NCAA, how do you officiate all this? How do you sanction all that? There's a lot going on right now with college athletics.
I think they're going to have to rein in the transfer portal a little bit.
I would love that.
I love the freedom the players are now getting, but guys bouncing around every single year, it's not good for college football, generally speaking. So a guy playing for 4 different colleges in 4 different years, I don't think it benefits everyone. And I even think the players themselves will actually agree to the fact that it's not a good thing for a guy to be at 4 different schools in 4 different years. So they can rein it in a little bit, give the players some freedom, absolutely. But perhaps no more than 2 transfers in your 4 or 5 years. That would be great for everyone involved. But college football is looking good for everyone, but they need to rein in the transfer just a little bit.
I completely agree. So your buddy Mike Dempsey's coming out of retirement to get into a fight. Are you going to be in this corner? I know Irish Mickey Ward is, but maybe you as like the calming friend influence. And I think like you said, you're the Robin, his Batman. Are you going to be there? Are you going to get him through this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How's this going to go?
Absolutely. I'll be in the corner, or at least at least front row, at least.
Right.
You would think, right? All these years, I merit at least the front row.
Like Paulie was for Rocky
There you go.
Balboa.
There you go. There you go. So I'll be there. I'll be rooting him on. He sends me training videos all the time, and I joke around with him and everything. But he's trying. The effort is there. The will is there. I don't know if the body will be there, but the will is there.
Look at the arms.
The pythons.
Speaking of python, Mark, you're in great shape yourself, man. You look like you could be our age. Well, you look better than us. We're in our 30s. You look better than us, man. You still maintain that athlete's.
I always try to say that, if I ever get called, I can still get football teams and stuff. I always tell myself, if I ever get called by a D1 coach, I can go out there and play, at least half a game for them. 50 or 60 plays at outside backer, and I'm always ready to go.
Mark, man, it's such a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Super Bowl 56 weekend. Before we let you go, we got to get a prediction for this game. That's always the last thing we bring up. We're always talking about stories, talking about people's lives, and then at the end, we're like, oh, yeah, there's a football game Sunday. We're from Kansas City. We're still a little bitter. So
probably why we forget it so
who
easily.
wins Super Bowl 56? Yeah.
Bengals have this underdog thing going on.
They do.
And they've got an ace kicker that can kick it from 60 yards.
Man.
So if they keep it close, I have faith in Joe Burrow and that kicker, man. I think they can pull it out with a 3-point victory, with seconds running down on the clock.
Uber belief in Evan McPherson there to get it done. So
Never so much faith in a kicker. He only needed 26 yards to beat the Chiefs. That's different tale for a different day. Mark, thanks so much for stopping by, man. Enjoy Super Bowl 56 Radio Row. This is awesome. This is our first time. I know you and Mike have been around, probably to every one of them that's ever been. So, showing us the ropes. We appreciate it. Mark, thanks so much, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.